many talents. He's fighting on the next card. He's fighting on all the cards. Like a lot of you Coastal Combat guys are just, you tell us when the next one is, we're going to fill it up with fighters.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into martial arts.
So I always liked martial arts when I was a kid, watching it on TV, like little cartoons and stuff like that. And
which was your favorite?
Dragon Ball Z was my favorite little cartoon show. Toonami and all shows came on Toonami.
So that made you want to do martial arts?
Basically, yeah. Okay. So my mom put me into a bunch of these like little karate schools, and we can never stay consistent because like ran out of money or whatever, you know. So I was like, promised myself, I was like, I'm gonna do martial arts when I get older.
We got a phone ringing.
turn on silent. Well, I was like, I'm gonna do martial arts when I get older, and like I'm not gonna let no one stop me from doing that because I really liked it. I really love it.
Right.
You know. So when I got older, I figured the best way for me to like do what I wanted to do was join the service. So I went, joined the service. Me and my friend talked about it. He was like, "Yeah, I want to do martial arts too. I want to join the service. That's like the baddest of the bad." I was like, "Yeah, let's go do it." I showed up. He didn't. So like, it was
I have a couple of friends that did that. My poor buddy ended up going to the Marines, going to war and everything. All kinds of friends said, "Meet me here in the morning. We'll be badasses." So you end up in the military. Which branch?
Marine Corps.
So you're in the Marines, and you're out there, and you're going to be able to do martial arts. Did it work out as planned? Were you able to get right into martial arts, or?
So, I guess it did on the aspect of I wanted to learn the Marine Corps martial arts, you know. So I guess in a sense it did, but I wanted to get deeper into it,
right?
Because
you were doing the traditional martial, you were doing karate back then, and that was a little more aligned with Dragon Ball Z and other stuff that you were watching.
Exactly.
By the way, you said that every time you moved, you'd have a different karate school whenever your mom could get the money to put you in it, but you had to kind of start from the bottom. So you say. What'd you say about it?
So I had to start from the bottom. Like every time I only made it to orange belt. So like I know the first kata down. I got the first kata down pat. Like it's just like it's in me now. Like
I love it.
The basics of karate, I got it.
So you got a good karate base, but how did you start to differentiate your game into these other martial arts? Like when did that come about? So you're in the military, you learn a little bit.
So when the first person that really taught me, like got me like deep into like martial arts had to be my platoon sergeant at the time. He took me under his wing because what happened when I moved to a different unit. I got in trouble with my last unit. I moved to a different unit, and I was like, he did like introductions, and he's like, "Hey, short Mexican guys, like, hey, you guys, I'm short Mexican, and I got Napoleon syndrome." And you guys got a problem with anything I say, I'm in the gym every day at 1300. Come meet me there and we can solve it. And I was like, in the back of the classroom, just like, well, do you teach anything? And he's like, meet me every day at 1300. I was like, all right, I just show up there. I'll figure it out from there. So I'll go in there, and every day for like 2 weeks, he just whooped my ass. Like for like 2 weeks, I'm just like I'm showing up because I want to learn. Right. So I'm like going in, doing stuff.
And kata one's not working.
Kata one was not working at all. So like it was like he was just like this like Golden Gloves boxer, and like he did a bunch of jujitsu. Right. So I'm like yo, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go in and keep going. And then like one day he didn't show up. And I was like, Stepson, where you at? I called him. I was like, where you at? He was like, I had stuff to do. Man, why you keep showing up? He's like, why you keep showing up? I was like, I'm trying to learn. I said that from the beginning. He was like, oh, yeah, I'm a little busy today, but yeah, I see you next week. Like it was a Friday. Like I see you next week. You know, we'll get together. Like yeah, dope. So from then on, like for 2 years straight, it was just me and him, just like learning jujitsu, boxing, and just going at it every day. We went on deployment. It didn't stop. We kept going. Yeah, we had like a nice little group together, and we just go on doing stuff. Every once in a while, we get like some random guy comes in thinking he's the shit, and then like fucking, just start messing them up, little jujitsu work and shit, and like that's when I really started getting into my own as like oh damn, like I really do love this stuff.
You love
like,
it.
I do love this stuff. Like I didn't watch it or nothing like that. I just loved doing martial arts.
And shout out to your coaches, Jordan and Jake, and your training partners, Chase, and all those guys, beasts. Funny story I gotta tell is we're at the fights. We don't have a national anthem singer for whatever reason, and we just start going around like we need to find someone who can sing. And we found you, and actually it was you. I think the first one was you and a friend of yours.
Yeah, you and Kaylee.
Kaylee.
Or Kylie, yeah.
Kylie. Yeah, and you guys sang it together.
Yeah.
That was our Halloween. That was our Halloween show, and y'all were dressed up. What were you dressed up as?
I was T'Challa.
Okay.
I was King of Wakanda. I was like, I'm getting on some.
You were on some Wakanda.
Yeah.
And then she was like a superhero, Justin Green.
She was My Hero Academia's Froppy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you guys got in there and sang together.
Yeah.
And then we're like, but you hadn't fought for us yet, had you?
No.
Yeah. So we're like, and they were like, oh, like, how do you guys know him? How did he happen to be? Oh, he fights. He trains with us. Like, where? Like, what do you mean fights? Like, no, he's going to be on your next card. And we're like, are you sure? He's a singer. And so the next time that you sang, I don't remember if it was the next show, you literally have your hands wrapped, the MMA gloves on, and you're singing in the cage, and then later on you fight. And that's already happened a couple times, right?
Yeah, it's like, how many times did I was saying the national anthem? Like 4 times now?
Yeah.
4 or 5
So now we're like, we got a built-in national anthem singer. If we need a singer, he's there. His hands are wrapped. He wears the gloves, which is even cooler for people to hear him sing and then see him come out later on as a fighter. That's incredible.
Yeah.
You also were a prison guard. That was like a thing that you've been doing.
Yeah, I was a sheriff. So at my last, my bad. So before I left California, because my last duty station, I was out here in California. That's where I met Jordan and Jake over at UC Oceanside.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to leave because my mom called me and she says, "Are you coming home?" I said, "No, I'm staying in California." I was like, "No, I'm staying in California. I want to fight." And she's like, "Well, I need your help." She was on the verge of she said she had financial problems. Not gonna go too deep into it, but she was having issues. So I was like, all right, bet I gotta go home and take care of my mom real quick. So went home, got me a little job immediately. I started off as a janitor at a nursing home, and then fortunately through the grace of God, I just ran into people and just became a sheriff right after. It was like nursing home job. Met somebody at the gym. He was like, "Hey man, you wanna be a sheriff?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll be a sheriff."
Sheriff, and you're working at a prison.
Yeah.
How was that? Is that high? I hear that's a high stress job.
It is, but the thing is, it's high stress if you kind of make it high stress. Because no, I'm lying. It's a high stress job. Okay. It's a high stress job. But you can, once you get in there and you start learn how to you just gotta start realizing this is just they're people too. Maybe they did they had some questionable behavior and they did some stuff. Obviously they're in here for a reason. But people just want to be talked to. The same way that you would talk to someone else on the street, same respect and stuff. And at a certain point, because I always was while I was in there in jail, it was 60 inmates and it's just me in there. And the only thing between me and them is this little painted red line on the floor. So it was just to hey, it's just a suggestion hey, you're gonna get in trouble if you mess with the officer. But for more violent people to just kind of I'm like, nah, this ain't gonna do nothing for them. They gotta fear me a little bit, at least a little bit. Yeah. So I just had the mindset of when I walked around the gym, the jail, doing my rounds, making sure no one's around, doing nothing they ain't supposed to be doing. Always just somebody around this corner. I had that feeling about me. I'm ready. If somebody jump from back there, I'm gonna fuck them up immediately. No questions about it. No, forget all the extra stuff. You get lumps, And after a while, everything was just super chill. I didn't know until I was ready to leave, and I was inmate walks up to me and he says, "Officer Stubbs, I gotta tell you something, man. I'm about to get up out of this. I'm about to get out of here. I'm gonna tell you something before I leave." And I was like, "What?" Because he's my problem inmate. Yeah. He's not super problem. He just jokes a lot. Yeah. So I'm like, "What you want, man? What you about to tell me?" He was like, "Man, you be having everybody scared in here." I was like, "Scared about what?" He's like, "Man, you just walk around you walk around like you know something." I was like, What I know.
It's a different type of confidence. Yeah, they say fighters can recognize fighters because there's a different type of confidence that is not arrogance. You know what I mean? It's like I'm safe enough. I feel confident enough to where I can hold my own. You know, it's just they walk different, move different. All different types of humans are fighters, but there's you can always kind of tell. And bullies can smell it. You know, they're like, that's not the guy to mess with, and they move on to the next. And that's why I think martial arts is so important to teach, to get kids in early. Another one of my favorite stories. You got a lot of stories. You're a man of many talents. You fought C.A.M.O.
Yeah.
Amazing fight. That was an incredible fight. You guys were back and forth.
Fight,
you guys were very evenly matched on so many levels. The striking, the grappling, the wrestling, the takedowns, the takedown defense. Like, you guys were just made for an amazing fight for the fans. At the end of the fight, a thing, if you guys don't know the fighters do, is they kind of like walk around, hold their hands up, and kind of show that they're not tired. Well, these guys were in such good shape. They started taking it another level. And, first they're just kind of dancing to the music. And then next thing you know, like the dancing turns to a little bit of this. And then Sam was just like, oh, hold on. I know this too. And then the next thing you know, they're doing full-on Ayukins at each other in the cage with the music going. Everybody's getting into it. The camera guys are coming around with the big old cameras strapped to them and everything.
It was fun.
And go Google that fight. I think there's a couple promo videos where we get little clips in it, but that went back and forth for a while, man. And it was fun.
Everybody gave me shit at the gym. They was like, "Oh, that was cringy, dog." Because I did the whole little Dragon Ball Z thing. And I was like, from the movie, like the live action movie. I was like,
"Oh, that was a whole routine you had memorized."
Yeah, because I remember making fun of it so much as a kid. I was just like, when it came out, I was like, like.
And then you did it.
I don't know, like, oh my god.
And then you do it in the cage in front of a couple thousand people.
Yes.
So, Epic Fighting 52, February 17th. Watch, his fights are exciting. If you can't make it there, watch it at epicfightinglive.com. If you can make it there, epicfighting.com. Shout out to Coastal Combat, everything else. Let them know what's going to go down on your next fight.
I'm not one to talk a lot of junk, but I know I'm gonna be 4-0. I'm be 4-0. I'm be 4-0.
That's all he's got to say. Peace out. We love you guys. We'll see you there.